If your back extension mobility looks like this, stuck and painful, and you want it to look like this, full range and pain-free, I'm going to show you how to transform your mobility and pain with just 2 exercises done in a specific order in a specific way. My name is Dr. Grant Elliott, and we've helped thousands with low back pain, disc herniations, and sciatica fully recover through our one-on-one online low back program. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to get your mobility back to where it needs to be so you can live a pain-free life. So first, let's understand why you're stuck in the first place. Specifically into extension is the focus of today's video. So you have 5 lumbar vertebrae. They are between the thoracic spine and the sacrum. And all of these regions are connected through what's called the facet joints or zygapophyseal joints. These are the joints that articulate amongst your entire spine and provide it the movement that it has through all different ranges of motion. But these are not the only things that can affect your range of motion. Your discs can affect your range of motion too. If a disc is moved or obstructed, it can block motion. So a lot of people think their range of motion is limited just because of the facets in their spine, when this is not true. It can be affected by the discs being obstructed too, or other dysfunctional patterns going in your body as well. But today, we're focusing on specifically the most common reasons why your extension would be limited and exactly what you need to do right now. So let's understand this a little bit better. If a disc is the thing that is blocking your range of motion every time you try to lean back, then you would immediately know that this is true if you have sciatica. If you have any type of symptoms radiating into the leg, into the glute, the hamstring, calf, foot, or toes, and you're feeling a nervy type pain, then absolutely this is likely coming from a disc that is hitting a nerve and sending these signals into the leg. And this disc, if it's bulging posteriorly, which majority of them are, is blocking that extension motion. If you're above the age of 65, then leaning backwards could be painful because of a different issue called stenosis, which doesn't always cause problems. But today we're focusing on the majority of individuals suffering with this common back issue, not just those later in life. Now, other symptoms that would tell you if a disc is the reason blocking this motion could be if you have difficulty sitting for long periods, if when you go to bend forward or put on socks and shoes, you notice extra tightness or pain, or if you've been sitting long periods and you go to stand up and it feels really tight and stiff and takes you way too long to stand up straight. These are very, very common disc symptoms, and this could likely be the reason for this restriction and pain. So now let's get into fixing it. Before we do the 2 fixes, I want you to either set up your phone and take a picture or take a video of you performing an extension so you can have a concept of your current range of motion, because we're going to retest it in a moment. Hey, real quick, I know you're struggling with pain and obviously want to fix it. So if you just text me the word pain to 317-751-9509, I will send you my free back pain fix demo. Just text that number and you can fix your pain. Thank me later. Back to the show. After you've documented where you're currently at, the first exercise we're going to get into is what I call our wall dead bug. Lay down on the floor, get close to a wall, put your hands on the wall. We're going to be pushing into the wall with about 20 pounds of effort, and then we're going to perform a dead bug motion with the lower body. Now, here's why we're doing this exercise and the key things you need to focus on. As we do this movement, keep your lower back flat into the floor while you're pushing. The reason why we're pushing is because what most individuals do when they try to push into an overhead position is they naturally want to arch their back to compensate for leverage. So they want to go into extension. But by keeping the low back down and keeping the whole spine flat, we're actually resisting extension, which can help stabilize and load an extension pattern and get your body prepared and feel more comfortable when you attempt to do so. By keeping the lower back flat into the floor, this is stabilizing your core, increasing intra-abdominal pressure, stabilizing your spine so that this also will be more prepared to go into extension or a range of motion it has not gone in a long time. And then lastly, doing this type of exercise helps calm down the lower back muscles so that when we do our next exercise, your ability to unlock your mobility will be increased. Because if we can shut off our low back muscles, our extensors, then we're going to be able to improve this range of motion even further. And also, this type of core movement provides a temporary decompressive like effect on your lower lumbar spine, on the facets and on the discs. And it can give you a greater ability to improve the mobility of this area. Now, I know that was a lot right there, but I want you to actually understand why we're doing this exercise and the benefits associated with it, because the order of this is so important. Now, I recommend you perform 10 reps each leg, take a break, and then perform another 5 to 6 reps each leg to make sure that you get a solid stimulus. Now, move into our next exercise, which is our lumbar extension exercise. Now our body is prepared to do this movement. So lay on your stomach, hands under your shoulders like you're going to do a push-up, push your chest up off the ground like we're performing a yoga pose, but we're not going to hold it. We're going to do this repetitively, now actually working into the extension motion. As you perform this, it's crucial to keep the lower back and the glutes totally relaxed to allow yourself to enhance this motion. And this is doing two things. One, yes, it's mobilizing the facet joints that, of course, are being limited if you cannot go into extension. But two, if a disc is the thing that is blocking your range of motion, since we did the first core exercise and your discs are decompressed and your low back is stable and it's able to move, as we work into this motion, we're loading the disc the opposite way that triggers it, and we're going to reduce it over and over as we perform this repetition to move it back to where we want it to go, to reduce the obstruction. So we're moving that disc repetitively where we want it to go to free up your motion, so it's no longer hitting the nerve, or so it's no longer hitting the sensitive tissues that's causing your restricted motion. Perform 10 reps, take a break, then another 10 reps with the goal of pushing further and further over time. And if you cannot start on your hands, simply go down to your elbows and perform this same concept through the elbows. Now, after you've made some progress through this and you've pushed it a little bit further, stand back up and retest your range of motion. Take the picture, take the video, and analyze where you're at now. How has the range of motion changed? How has the pain changed? And if you saw a massive difference and improvement in your mobility, then you are in luck, because this tells us that likely you're dealing with a common disc issue that is restricting this motion, or at least a very common low back issue that we see all the time, and that you can fully resolve this through a proper rehab program. But it does not stop with this magic trick. This process I took you through can enhance your range of motion and reduce your pain fast. But if you don't commit to an actual plan designed for this, then the results will be temporary. Just like anything you pursue, if you don't stick with it and you don't have a plan, then it will be temporary. So if this was helpful, but you actually want to dive a bit deeper and get a structured plan specific to you, then just text me the word pain to 317-751-9509 and you'll get a tailored step-by-step plan to permanently fix your back or sciatica issues following my centralization process. Do it right now so you don't miss the opportunity to finally fix your pain and live the life that you deserve. And after you text me, please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram for more free daily videos and to get into my life and see what I'm doing to stay pain-free. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one, and I'll see some of you in the program real soon.